Hello and welcome to the Tsitsi Mafuta podcast. I'm your host, Tsitsi Mafuta. Today's commentary is going to be on the Australian tennis player, Nick Kyrgios. Today's commentary is going to be on the Australian tennis player, Nick Kyrgios. Nick Kyrgios is currently ranked number 40 in the world. Nick Kyrgios is currently ranked number 40 in the world. Folks, I'm sure you've heard the saying that sometimes in life you need an element of luck. Sometimes in life you need an element of luck. And lo and behold, luck has presented itself in front of Nick Kyrgios. Now, why do I say this? Nick Kyrgios was supposed to play the number 2 tennis player in the world, Rafael Nadal. Nick Kyrgios was supposed to play the number 2 tennis player in the world, Rafael Nadal, in the semifinals. Rafa had to withdraw due to abdominal pains. Rafael Nadal had to withdraw from the tournament due to abdominal pains. Disclaimer, Rafa is my favorite tennis player. Rafael Nadal is one of my favorite tennis players. And it's usually rare when Rafa withdraws from a tournament. We've seen, some of us have witnessed Rafa play through excruciating pain. We've seen it. But this time, the pain was severe to the extent that he felt if he continued playing, it was going to do more damage to his body. So he decided to withdraw from the tournament. And lo and behold, Nick Kyrgios now is in his first ever Grand Slam title at Wimbledon. Nick Kyrgios, ladies and gentlemen, is in the finals at Wimbledon. His first Grand Slam title. Actually, he has a shot at winning his first Grand Slam. Nick Kyrgios. Now, Nick Kyrgios has a bit of history. If you follow tennis, Nick Kyrgios has a bit of history. As we speak right now, Nick Kyrgios' fines are approaching $800,000. You heard that number. Nick Kyrgios' fines is approximately $800,000. Now, you're wondering how can a number 40 tennis player accumulate such an amount? Well, Nick is what people would say, he's a passionate tennis player. Nick Kyrgios is a passionate tennis player. Just recently, in his first round, Nick was fined $10,000 at Wimbledon for spitting at a spectator. Nick Kyrgios was fined $10,000 for spitting at a spectator. Now, we all know Nick gets irritated pretty quickly. He has a short fuse. But here in Australia, whether you like it or not, Nick Kyrgios is in the finals at Wimbledon. Nick Kyrgios is in the finals at Wimbledon. That is huge. That is huge. Now, it's a milestone for himself. And his family is super proud for this moment. And whether people like him or not, especially in Australia or as well tennis fans, you have to clap for him. You really have to clap for him. Whether you like it or not, you have to clap for him. Nick Kyrgios is in the finals at Wimbledon. He has a shot at winning his first Grand Slam title. Now, this was an opportunity that presented itself because the number 2, Rafael Nadal, withdrew from the tournament. Now, Nick has the luck benefit of he's going to be well rested. His legs are going to be fresh. He has avoided going through a 5-set or a 6-set match. Usually, if you're not familiar, men's tennis matches usually average around 3.5 to 4 hours. Men's tennis matches usually average around 3.5 to 4 hours. So Nick has avoided that. His legs are going to be fresh for the finals. His legs are going to be fresh for the finals. He's going to be well rested. Now, his opponents, the 2 opponents that he could likely face is his least favorite, Novak Djokovic, or Norrie, the English tennis player. Now, I think Nick would prefer playing against Norrie. But we don't know who Nick is going to be playing against for the title. Now, the only thing that I hope Nick does for himself is to stay calm and collected. Is to try and keep his frustrations internally. He just has a tendency of heavy outburst. It's that you smash a racket on the floor. I mean, which is in tennis, sometimes it's common because it's one of the reasons I love tennis. It's because it's a psychological game. You're on your own against your opponent. You have no access to your coach. It is just you and your opponent. This is where your mental strength is tested. Now, when you make errors, you have no one to blame except yourself. When you make errors as a tennis player on that court, you have no one to blame except yourself. So it gets to tennis players. They start getting frustrated. That's why if you see them, they start screaming, or they start swearing. It's because they're frustrated. They're making errors that they don't usually make. Now, if Nick gets Novak, if Nick Kyrgios gets Novak, he has to keep it cool. Because Nick will be now playing against a guy who travels with his therapist. Novak Djokovic has a therapist that he travels with on retainer everywhere you go. So he knows sometimes how to stay calm in situations. Now, if Novak smells Nick's frustration, ladies and gentlemen, he is going to finish him with precision. If Djokovic sees or feels Nick is starting to get frustrated and he's starting to lose his cool, he's going to finish him with precision. And Novak might enjoy it. Why? Because there's a bit of tension between the two. Personally, I would love to see Nick Kyrgios and Novak Djokovic in the finals. I would absolutely love to see those two. Because tensions will be at an all-time high. Tensions will be at an all-time high. And the two gentlemen will have to give us spectators, a match of the year. They have to. They have to give us the match of the year. But we don't know if he's going to get Novak. He might get Nori. But congratulations, Nick Kyrgios, on your first Grand Slam appearance at Wimbledon. Congratulations, my brother. You deserve it. You've been through a lot. It's your moment. It's your time. My only hope is, brother, just remember, stay calm. Avoid big outburst. Just try to keep it cool. You have been presented with luck at your feet. Now, physically, I hope you don't get injured during a practice run, but I hope you keep your legs fresh. Because Novak, without any injuries, he's not going to be an easy opponent. He's going to give you a run for your money. Literally. He's going to give you a run for your money. Wow. Nick Kyrgios has made it to his first Grand Slam title at Wimbledon. I'm happy for the chap. I'm really happy for the chap. He deserves this. It's his moment. And let's see what happens on Sunday. Let's see what happens on Sunday. Otherwise, folks, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. But please, let's keep it friendly. No name calling. I think that's all for today. I'm your host, Tsitsi Mafuta, from the Tsitsi Mafuta podcast. Ndiyo.